There are also new developments about federal prosecutors charging 3 Iranian hackers for allegedly targeting the Trump presidential campaign. They're accused of being part of a wide-ranging malicious cyber scheme. This comes as a former Federal Aviation Administration contractor has been indicted by the U.S. Department of Justice for, quote, acting and conspiring to act as an agent of the Iranian government. These are serious charges. Here with us is former CIA officer and former FBI special agent and NewsNation national security contributor Tracy Walder. Tracy, good morning. Let's start with this campaign hack for the Trump campaign. The hackers were charged with wire fraud, identity theft, conspiracy to provide support to a terrorist group, and hacking conspiracy. Just for our viewers, can you explain how serious these charges are and what part do you suspect the Iranian government did play in this?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Hena. I suspect the Iranian government directed all of this, and they're doing this obviously on the heels of the election. I mean, they want to influence the outcome of this. But one of the things they're doing that's very interesting and different, and I think more serious than what we've seen in the past, is they are actually impersonating real news websites, and people are mistaking that for real news. And I think that is the problem. They are mainstreaming basically false information, and that could impact people at the polls.
Tracy, the election is less than a month away. What can officials be doing to protect these campaigns?
Well, obviously, they're working overtime. One of the other serious parts about this is that they hacked these campaigns and then tried to pass that, obviously, to other individuals who are working on opposing campaigns. No one took that information. So I think first and foremost, education to these campaigns in terms of what is going on and not to accept this information, which they haven't been doing. But then I also think information and education to the general public about exactly what Iran is doing and how to mistake these real from fake websites.
Iran is also in the headlines for the former FAA contractor. He was charged with spying for the Iranian government. Tracy, taking a step back and with what you've done in the past and your experience, what information could they be trying to gather?
Yeah, so actually, this is exactly what I did at the FBI, except it was with the Chinese. Really, my guess is what they are trying to gather is information regarding our airports, as well as our airport and emergency security infrastructure. I think that is what they are trying to gather. I know there's information about sensitive solar panel information as well. So what's interesting and different is the infrastructure part doesn't necessarily surprise me. However, sort of the trade secrets and economic espionage is actually rather new for Iran. They're stealing that so they don't have to invest in research and development.
Tracy, is the activity with Iran increasing against the United States, or has this been how we've seen it play out in the past couple of years?
I think that's a really good question. I actually think it probably is increasing, and I think it's coming to sort of this crescendo, if you will, because of the election. And I suspect that after the election, it will go down a bit. However, the outcome of the election really depends on whether or not these attacks ramp up, if you will.
The world is watching our election, certainly. Tracy Walder, thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.